All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry about that. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Lisa Partida with Home Again LA, and today we are going to be covering a very brief workshop regarding paycheck survival. Basically, today we're going to be talking about paycheck survival mode, and this is something that many households experience at some point in time, especially with rising rent, food costs, and unexpected expenses. And this presentation isn't about shame or blame. It's about understanding what survival mode looks like and how to manage it and reminding ourselves that it's temporary. You're not alone and that there is support that exists. So understanding paycheck survival mode, what the factors behind financial strain are. Um, Paycheck survival happens when most or all of your income is already spoken for before the next paycheck. Um, For some people, it's rent. For others, it's food, childcare, transportation, or just trying to keep a phone on. All of these can push families into constant stress. When you're in survival mode, it's hard to plan long term because you're focused on getting through today or this week, and that reaction is completely human. Um, so yeah, basically your day-to-day expenses, which can be your rent, your food, your gas, transportation, all this stuff can cause you to be financially constrained because you're kind of living paycheck to paycheck. So it's better to plan ahead, and we're actually going to cover some of this in a few minutes. So there are three questions that you should ask yourself when you are basically when you just got your check. So these are just regular check-ins that you can make for yourself. And one of the questions is, do I need this? This question encourages you to assess the true necessity of each purchase before spending any money. And then you can also ask yourself, can it wait? Is it, like a new pair of shoes that you're trying to get either for the weekend or something? Can it wait? Delaying expenses until your next paycheck can provide much needed breathing room in your budget for essential items. And then you can also ask yourself, is this, can I find this free somewhere or can I find it cheaper, like a cheaper alternative? So you can always explore alternative options to find cost-effective solutions that can satisfy your needs without straining your budget. So the real question lies, which one of these three questions do you struggle with the most? Okay. Um, so spending priorities. When money is limited, prioritizing essentials helps protect stability. Housing, keeping a roof over your head comes first, obviously, because it'll provide you a stable living environment, which is crucial for your overall well-being and financial security. Utilities, like electricity, water, gas, basic livability. You need this to have a habitable place to live. So these are vital for you to have and very basic, so these are necessary for your daily life. Um, Also food and nutrition matters for health and energy. So, I mean, without food, you can't function, right? So you also have to prioritize and budget and set aside money for your food to have adequate nutrition. And then obviously transportation, getting to and from work, going to school, getting to doctor's appointments. These are all necessary, these are all necessary priorities, whether if you're riding the metro or maybe you're taking the bus or, having a bicycle to get around, just have to make sure that you have what you need to get around. Everything else after that comes after. So just prioritize on these four things first because these are the essentials. These are the things that are going to keep you where you need to be. So, focus on these three things. Like I would pay my rent first, my utilities, and, set aside some money for food and some money for gas and transportation, and everything else has to come later. Some quick tips. These are small practical ways to stretch what you have. ask about discounts, assistance programs, or hardship options. For example, this is really simple. Just meal prepping, creating a small plan using ingredients you already have at home to save money and reduce food waste. I mean, you could you have pasta. If you have pasta and you have some marinara sauce, make yourself some spaghetti. If you have some peanut butter and jelly. That's always handy as long as you have the essentials, right? Just like make sure you guys are meal prepping. So that way you don't have to go and overspend. I know sometimes what I do, I go to the market and if I don't have my shopping list, I will stray way off and I'll start buying stuff that I don't need, like maybe a soda or I came in for eggs and milk and then I come back with like chicken, like extra food, like extra meat or like frozen food and I'm like, oh, just because I don't want to cook. But all that extra spending, like if you already have all your meal planning set aside, like everything's already planned out, you don't have to spend extra. So just make sure you have that list with you at all times because then you don't want to stray away from it. Utility extensions, you can contact utility companies to request extensions on payments, which can provide temporary relief and help ease financial pressure. Um, so The one thing I will say for this, if you actually, we actually have a program, excuse me, we have a program that's going to be starting up on the 10th for SoCal Gas. If you are interested, please, please, please do not hesitate to call us. We are offering a gas assistance fund program through United Way. And right now, the program is going to start up on the 10th, which is next Tuesday, I believe. So they are going to be basically what the program entails is that they give you $100 off your utility bill for gas. So if your bill is $50, they'll pay off the $50. If your bill exceeds $100, then they'll pay $100. So that is one way that you guys can also, find relief. And then there is also Project Share here at BTAC at the Birmingham Temporary Aid Center. They offer an application for assistance for utility. And if you're in the city of Burbank, if you're low income, then I highly suggest you come over to the beach shack and inquire about it and find out if you're eligible to receive this service. There's so many programs, guys, that you guys can look into. It's just a matter of looking, searching, and calling around, basically. And then you can also call your utility agency and ask them about services. I know that I should have written these down. Sorry, guys. I know that the gas company also has like a payment arrangement plan. So you guys can also reach out in regards to that if you feel like you have a really large balance and you feel like you just can't make the full payment and sometimes they threaten to shut you off if you don't pay the full amount. But if you inquire about this payment arrangement, you have to pay on time every month the exact amount that they're telling you, which is not going to be the full amount. It's probably going to be less than that, probably like $60, $80. As long as you keep up with your payments for a total of 12 months, then they'll keep you connected and they'll forgive your balance. So it's like it's a balance forgiveness program. And again, like I said, explore your options, ask about available options or discounts, assistance programs that can help reduce your overall expenses effectively. And again, payment plans are essential to minimize the strain and you guys just trying to save that money because we all need to save that money. Everything cost is going up. That is not stopping at all. So we have to take initiative and do the best that we can to try to reserve as much money as we can. Food pantries. Go to your local food pantry, guys. We just merged with Burbank Temporary Aid Center. So come check it out. We're open Monday through Friday. Mondays and Fridays are for unhoused people, and then for Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday are for housed families, I believe. And then they're also offering a ton of new services. So if you guys are experiencing homelessness and need access to showers, things like that, laundry, they do have an appointment and schedule set up for you guys to call in and set up an appointment for your designated time. But like food pantries, instead of, I mean, I strayed a little bit off, but instead of purchasing groceries, just ensure that you have enough, that you can access your local food pantry because they give a ton of good food. You can get your pastries, you can get your bread, your produce, your meats. So just, You could even call 211 and find out about local food pantries or go to laregionalfoodbank.org. And then this slide is really important, guys. If you're trying, that matters. Making one call is progress. Survival mode is temporary. It does not define you. It's a phase, not a permanent state, and you have the ability to transition beyond it. Um, like we said, making even one call can significantly reduce your stress. Reaching out for help demonstrates initiative and courage in managing your situation. And it shows that you're trying. Acknowledge the fact that you're doing your best. Every effort counts, and it's essential to validate your hard work during challenging times. And then obviously progress counts. Each bill that you pay is a testament to your resilience. So every small financial step forward contributes to your overall stability and well-being. And getting through 1 week without a crisis is an achievement. And recognize that the effort is, that the effort was done and a critical part of your journey has moved forward. All right. Alrighty, so moving from survival to stability doesn't happen overnight, guys, and that's okay. What matters is knowing you don't have to do it alone, and there is community support, like resources and guidance. And that's why programs like our program, Lifting People Up, are here when you're ready. Uh, we're ready to walk alongside you. So remember, you're not alone in this journey. If you guys want one-on-one support, you guys can always reach me at lisa@homeagainla.org. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.